They've lied to you about geometry. Every frequency has its own geometric pattern. Physical matter is just low vibrating energy at a specific frequency. Everything is vibration, vibrating on a specific frequency, which creates a different geometric pattern. Everything contains geometry. They tell you this is God's mathematical codes behind this reality. The true geometry is within you, and I'm going to explain it in a minute. Firstly, you need to understand the brain is an energy decelerator. Nothing around you is physical, it's energy, and your brain condenses it into a reality that you can interact with. Light enters the eyes, it turns into electricity and goes to the optic nerve to the visual cortex, and it creates an image in the brain. Therefore, you are not in the world is within your brain and body. You're experiencing a simulation by your nervous system. Therefore, geometry is actually your brain's mathematical codes on turning energy into matter. These geometric patterns is basically your brain's way of decoding energy. Everything they teach you is external to keep you looking outside yourself, but it's all internal. You are God in human form. The problem with the world is that we lack understanding of who we are, and what we are doing in this physical reality. Religion is just a way to externalize the God inside of you into someone else that you can worship to give away your power. Jesus and Satan are aspects of your consciousness, the higher mind and the lower mind. They just made a character out of it. Freemasons worship a secret God, and this is the name of him. I'm going to decode this symbolism so you can understand it. This represents God's consciousness, and it streams down to 4 sections for the 4 bodies of God: a lion, a bull, a man, and an eagle. These are the 4 fixed signs of the Zodiac: Taurus the bull, Leo the lion, Scorpio the eagle, Aquarius the man. You see this in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The man, the eagle, the lion, and the bull surrounding Jesus. The 4 fixed signs represent the 4 bodies of consciousness. Aquarius is an air symbol, which is the mind. Taurus is an earth sign, which is the body. Leo is a fire sign, which is the spirit. Scorpio is a water sign, which is the emotion. This is God's consciousness streaming down to Yahweh. Yahweh, the name of God, means I am. God's consciousness goes to I am. I am goes into the 4 bodies of your consciousness: the body, the mind, the spirit, and emotion. Every single one of us are an extension of the divine presence of the universe. Jesus actually represents you, a manifestation of God's consciousness. Stop worshipping Jesus and embody his qualities into your life so you can live like God. The church has just muddled this up and created a religion so you give away your power. The secret God of the Freemasons is the self. This is why they all focus on self-mastery to achieving high states of consciousness. The Pope is opening 5 portals. These are the locations of them. Connecting the dots of these locations creates the sigil of Lucifer. This is going to blow your mind. Sigil of Lucifer is your brain's visual field with the eyes. You don't see into reality. Light enters the eyes and an image is produced in your brain. Everything outside of you is just energy. Your brain turns it into a reality you can interact with. These rituals are all to do with perception. That's why he's opening 5 doors for your 5 senses. 5 points on the body, 5 toes, 5 fingers. 5 is the portal that connects spirit with matter, consciousness interacting with the material world. The Pope is not opening spiritual portals for demons. This was all a psyop. The portal they're opening is a negative portal in your own mind. This ritual was to create fear in our minds to make us project it into the reality, because the physical world is just an externalization of our inner consciousness. By planting fear in the collective minds and projecting this reality to keep us distracted. This is what Lucifer is. Lucifer is you, your consciousness, your divine self, falling for the material tricks. Matrix. This is just another distraction to install fear into your mind. Why is it the Vatican shows so many snake symbols? Even the Pope uses this. Even Alfa Romeo uses this symbol. This is why Eve gets tempted by a snake. Snakes represent sexual energy. This energy cultivates and transforms your child body into an adult, and it can transform you into a god. In order for creation, there must be destruction. Every time you release, you're giving your life force to create another life. You give a part of your soul to create another life. Your sexual energy is the power of creation. You can save it, cultivate it, and activate your kundalini, which will then activate dormant brain cells, allowing your brain to process information with more efficiency and faster. Or you can save it and redirect it into other aspects of your life. Critical thinking, manifestation, and chasing your goals. Sexual emotions are the most powerful emotions you could possibly feel, but don't let the snake eat you, because this is what stops you from reaching high states of consciousness and stops you from reaching your highest potential and creating abundance in your life. This is symbolic of giving in to our sexual urges, which make us fall from the Garden of Eden, our highest potential of human consciousness. Don't fall for the illusion of the material pleasures. We need to stop misusing the power of creation. My students are learning sexual alchemy in my university. You don't need food, you need charging. There are many different ways you can charge the body, like grounding or standing next to trees. You are a biological battery. When you feel hungry, this is not hunger. It's your body getting rid of waste from the colon. It's important that you fast. After 48 hours of fasting, your body starts to produce stem cells to regenerate itself. Your body will start to eat itself and kill all the bad cells. The human body is an electromagnetic technological machine. Every cell in your body conducts electricity. You need electrical food that's grown under the electric sun because you are an electrical battery. The sun's electric power is crystallized within the food. You are a light being, a hue meaning light and a man meaning manifested. You are light manifested. This is real food. You need electric food to charge your electric body. You don't need dead flesh. This is why you get charged in a court, because you're an electric battery. And when you get charged, you sit in a cell, a battery cell. This field shows sickness before your physical body is actually sick. The strength of your field has a correlation with your health. Thoughts are electric, emotions are magnetic. You need positive thoughts and emotions to strengthen this field. If you want to learn more, this book will tell you everything. You don't need. Freemasons use this symbol, which is the same symbol for Apple Store, and X when it's mirrored. This symbol is a compass on top and a square below. The square creates a square which has beginning and an end. The compass creates a circle which has no beginning and no end. If the compass is the circle, which means spirit, and square is the square, which is matter, this symbolizes spirit over matter, the compass over the square. Leonardo da Vinci was showing you that you are a spiritual being in a material body. You are an individual. You have a physical body and a non-physical body. The voice in your head and the emotions you feel are eternal, but your physical body will die. The spiritual brain is the mind. The spiritual heart is the soul. The brain and heart are physical manifestations of the mind and soul. The aim is to climb the pyramid to higher consciousness, to your true spirit self, so that you can be spirit over matter and not matter over spirit. They show you these symbols in plain sight. These people are highly enlightened individuals. You will never have power if you don't have knowledge. Knowledge is the true currency of this life. Use code 25 off for the next 12 hours. After 12 hours, it will be going down to 15% off. If you flip the human nervous system upside down, it looks like a tree growing from a seed, bearing the fruit of the heart, which looks like a fruit dangling on a tree. The tree growing from the seed also feeds the fruit of the spirit. The cycle of the seed is the same cycle of your life. The cycle of the seed is also the same as the parable of the sower. 12 cranial nerves managing the movement of the body, being controlled by the mind. 12 disciples spreading the gospel of Jesus. Jesus is the head. Jesus meets his disciples in the upper room. 12 imams of Shia, 12 tribes of Israel with the one left out, 12 zodiac constellations around the sun. Are you starting to see it? You are the son of God. Consciousness is connected to the source of the universe. Brain is a holographic computer projecting this reality. Consciousness is a fractal of God. Your life is a file. Your brain is the husband. Your heart is the wife. The husband, or the brain, is responsible for thinking, taste, touch, hearing, and smelling and sight. Wife is the heart, which is submissive to the brain, emotion, following, and doing. You are arguing because it's the brain against the heart. Thinking versus emotion. You must learn how to sync the mind with the heart. By studying the body, you can study how relationships are truly meant to be. The book in my bio will tell you everything. The real music is nature, because all sounds originate from the real reality. What if I told you we are not supposed to listen to chorus and repetitive beats? Nature has no chorus. Everything is evoluting and changing. Listening to repetitive beats creates a trance and thought loops within our minds, putting you in a hypnotic state.
It's in my brain. Do you know that? It's living rent free. I can't get it out. You did that.
Yeah, it's hypnosis.
Music is a form of magic. You need to be aware of this stuff. They tell you that tree hugging is weird, but they don't tell you that trees emit electromagnetic energy. Trees emit a frequency of 200 Hz, which makes you feel grounded, stable, and confident just being around trees. This is why the forest is for rest, because it strengthens your electromagnetic aura, which can heal your body and protect you from infections. Maybe this is the reason why there are less trees in a less income area, and there are more trees in a richer area, because they want to keep the mass population of the poor people sick, the rich people thriving and healthy. Let me know what you think about this, and the Book of Wisdom Volume 2 is now available. It's a soul system, not a solar system. You started in the stars and you entered the heart of the soul system, which rearranged spells Earth. You took on the 7 energies of consciousness, the 7 planets. That's why you have 7 chakras and the 7 days of creation. You started in the stars. That's why you are a star, a cis star, monstar, fraud star. That's why we need to reach for the stars and ascend to our astral body. Our astral body is the star body, the celestial body. You descended from spirit to matter, from the stars to the earth, and turned into the Anunnaki. Anu, the sky god, represents spirit. Ki, the god of the earth, represents matter. Together they gave birth to the Anunnaki. Anu and Ki, spirit and matter. You are the Anunnaki. You incarnated into a specific, unique time and place of the planets and the stars, which imprinted a specific energy in you. This is why we are all unique and different, because we are all born in different timings and placements of the planets and stars. This is why you have a midlife crisis at 33, because Saturn takes 33 years to go around the Zodiac. Saturn is in the exact same position from when you were born at age 33. And Saturn is the aspect of your consciousness that limits you and makes you learn. This book has changed thousands of people's lives. Black Friday sale, 40% off. Use the code GIFT. Santa is Satan. So this is Santa with the reindeers, and this is the god Saturn, also known as Saturno. The Roman god Santa is always depicted with a long grey beard, holding a scythe in his hand because he's the god of harvesting and time. In ancient Rome, they celebrated something called Saturnalia, a festival dedicated to the god Saturn. And this took place in December, just like Christmas. The summer times governed by the sun, the winter times governed by Saturn. Summer is life, the winter is death. December and winter is when the most deaths occur. So many people die in December. This is when Saturn harvests the souls. Christmas is actually Saturnalia, which is a celebration of death. Don't you think it's weird how we celebrate the winter death instead of having a celebration in the summer life? Symbolism literally doesn't lie. The word Saturn is Satan. Now, of course, Saturn is not a real human with a long beard. This is all symbolic. The devil is the deveiling of your consciousness when your mind is stuck in a physical reality. Lust, food, money, fame, power. This is the devil. Red is the lowest vibrational color on the color spectrum, which corresponds to the surface level of your consciousness. He has goat horns symbolizing an animal. This is the animal nature of human consciousness. Red symbolizes rage, which is the lack of emotional control. Deep down within you, you are the fabric of the universe itself. You have the ability to create, turn thought into physical existence. This pencil was a thought before it was a physical reality. You possess the power of creation. You can use this for good or evil. Do evil is the devil and God is good. Reptilians do not exist. We're not being controlled by reptiles. There are 3 parts of the brain. The reptilian brain is mainly used when one is using survival needs. This is the instinctual part of your nature. People who control this world are mainly operating in their reptilian brain. It's all a metaphor. It's all scarcity to make you fear. Head is the heaven, earth is the heart, and heel is the hell. These are all states of consciousness. So is God and so is the devil. The church is a scam. The devil doesn't exist. The devil is your own aspect of your mind, tempting you to engage in low-level pleasures. Food has been sexualized. Why is it we cut out sausages in this shape and then place them in between 2 buns? Or placing a burger in between 2 buns? They are sexualizing foods to make them more attractive. They do this because sexual emotions are the most powerful emotions a human can feel. It's written in our DNA to reproduce. They know that most of the population have no sexual control. I think it's sickening that we live in a society that pushes poison through sexual desire. I shouldn't have to teach you these things I'm about to tell you. Each one of these centers are mini brains. You can think with them. They have consciousness. When you are hungry and you eat, you are acting according to the gut consciousness. Body is a reflection of the lower self, the lower half, and the higher self. The spine is the stairway to heaven. We must climb our spine to raise our consciousness. We need to stop eating and lusting and turn to expansion of the mind, knowledge, and spirituality. We need to climb the pyramid to higher consciousness. You have an inner, invisible world, spirit, and an external, material world, the body. The Matrix is designed to keep you looking outside yourself and never looking at your internal spiritual world. Organs are organisms because every organ has consciousness, can think with them. When you're horny, you think with your reproductive organs. When you're hungry, you think with your gut. This is why your head's called a temple, because the head is the temple of God. God is the creative power within you. Your soul is in hell when your soul is thinking with these lower brains. You unlock God when you unlock your creative power by raising your thoughts and awareness to your brain instead of dwelling in the survival brains and becoming a conscious creator. Thank you to everyone who's left amazing reviews on my book. You do not see into reality. The eyes are black holes. They suck in the light in the images produced at the back of the brain called the visual cortex. This is because the universe is a mental projection, and it's the number one law in the Kabbalion, that all is mind, the universe is mental. You never actually feel the external world. When you touch something, this is your brain's interpretation of electrical signals on your nervous system. You touch, taste, smell, hear, and see with your brain. You're not in the world. The world is being simulated from the brain and the body. It's a piece of technology. Your body is the earth. The sun is your soul. The moon represents your mind. You are the universal mind, the observer behind your thoughts, emotions, and senses. There is only one of us in the universe, and that is God. The one consciousness is what gives life to every single living life form. Satan does not exist. Mark of the beast is 3 6s. 3 represents the 3 aspects of consciousness: thought, emotion, action. Cubes have 6 sides: up, down, left, right, backwards, forwards. 6 represents the physical world. 666 is you, when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all going towards your physical world, cutting off your spirituality, turning you into the beast, turning the pentagram upside down, placing spirit on the very bottom. Satanists do not worship Satan, worship the material world and what it has to offer. They're actually worshipping their physical self. 13 is not unlucky, they made you scared. Jesus has 12 disciples, he is the 13th. 1 plus 3 is 4. You have a fourfold nature, a mind, spirit, emotion, and body. This is why he has 4 gospels. Mark shows Jesus as a spiritual teacher. John shows Jesus as an emotional creature, water into wine. Matthew shows Jesus as a mental body, where he's intellectual and communicative. And Luke shows Jesus as a human being, where he does physical things for other people. 13 represents human consciousness. They have demonized it. That's why the word sacred is scared rearranged. They made you scared of all the sacred symbols. Water is emotion, air is the mind, earth is the body, and fire is the spirit. The Bible is filled with metaphors, cryptograms, astrological codes, and numerological codes. Jesus never existed. He represents you. He represents God made flesh. You are an extension of God's consciousness. Watch this YouTube video to find out. You don't go to hell because you sinned, not because you didn't believe in God, but because your soul was still chained to the physical world. Your body is stripped when you die, leaving your inner world of thought and emotion. If your soul is still craving physical pleasures, sex, money, fame, then you will suffer in your own suffering, because in spirit you can't fulfill the physical desires of the physical plane. Monks shave their heads, abandon the material world, not out of fear, but to free themselves before death. I'm not saying go full monk mode, but find balance. Enjoy life. Enjoy the pleasures of the world. Just don't let them own you. Love your family, but not attached to them, because one day you will leave this world behind. Everything is temporary, and your consciousness needs to be in the correct state in order to ascend. Hell is not a real place, but your own suffering in the afterlife. Join my Telegram in the bio. The Egyptian gods never existed. They symbolize the sun in the 4 different states. Horus is the sun when it's rising. Horizon, Horus is rising. Word hours rearranged is Horus. Ra is the sun when it's radiant, when the sun is the most high, 12 noon. Set is the sun at 6 p.m. when the sun sets. Yearly cycle is a daily cycle. Spring is 6 a.m. Summer is 12. Autumn is when the sun sets. Nighttime is winter. Horus and Set is Jesus and Satan. Set, the ground animal, lower self. Horus, the bird, the air animal, the higher self. Egyptian scarab is a dung beetle. Rolls dung up and then down the hill. representing the sun rising and falling, hence why the Egyptians used the sun above him. The Vatican is a sun dial, because Jesus is the sun with his 12 disciples. Placing your hands together completes the electrical circuit of your body. Your hands are manifestations of your brain hemispheres. The left hand is the right brain, the creative one. The right hand is the left brain, the logical one. Tate uses these mudras as a technique to merge the brain hemispheres, to merge logic with creativity. Most people are trapped in their logical mind because society programs you that way. You're taught to use your right hand in writing to strengthen the left hemisphere, trapping you in logic, dulling creativity. Christianity, nuns are forced to write with their right hand to strengthen the left hemisphere. Hence why it's called writing. Sounds like the right, because they need you using the right side of your body to keep you in logic. Look at prayer. We place our hands together in prayer. This stems from an ancient form of meditation of placing the hands together to sync the brain hemispheres, to unlock consciousness. Because when the brain hemispheres work as one electrical system, consciousness expands. The mind becomes unified. Join my Telegram in the bio. Why is it astronauts always do this symbolism? These are the only 3 monkey emojis. It symbolizes speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil. Have you ever seen something horrible and it makes you shiver? Light is information. It enters the brain through the retinas of your eyes. This information affects your whole nervous system. Everything you see, touch, taste, hear and smell positively or negatively affects your nervous system and contributes towards shaping and molding your mind. And your mind shapes your reality. Astronauts do this because they're Freemasons and they know everything that enters them is shaping them in some form. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, people. Females are magnetic, they attract. Males are electric, they are the action taker. Everything is electromagnetic. Trees resemble brains. Their branches mirror electricity, which looks exactly like your nervous system because you are an electric technological being. The same fractal patterns appear on leaves, rivers, lightning. The sun gives life to the earth. Your soul gives life to your body. The sun is the universal soul. The day is life, the night is death. When you sleep, you enter your spirit astral body, death. When you're awake, you enter your material body, life. Death is just a greater version of sleep. That's why we say sleep is the cousin of death. You are the universe in miniature, a fragment of God. This is a very strong magnet. When we pour liquid nitrogen on it, nothing happens between the 2 magnetic poles. When we pour liquid oxygen on it, there is an attraction between the 2 magnetic poles. This proves there is electromagnetic energy within oxygen. This is why the word breath means spirit, because when we breathe deeply and do breath meditation, we strengthen our electromagnetic field, which is your spirit, your spiral. Breathing exercises sends oxygen, which is energy, to the brain and stimulates the pineal gland. You can quite literally trip off your breath because your lungs produce DMT, and when you breathe deeply, you can activate a mystical experience or an out-of-body experience during meditation. So when you breathe deeply for long periods of time, you will feel yourself going lightheaded because you're activating your consciousness, you're awakening your pineal gland and your spirit. Whatever you do, stop breathing through your mouth. Why is it Freemasons stand on this checkered floor? You see this in music videos. It represents division and illusion. You think you are this physical body, which is the illusion of the physical plane. You need to ascend to higher understanding of the spiritual planes. Mainstream music is hypnosis, putting you in a trance and keeping you in the illusion of the matrix. These Masonic tools are tools to recraft your mind, reshaping your belief system and ascending to higher consciousness. Stop remaining in the illusion. Low-level pleasures, lust, food, sex, entertainment. Learn symbolism to raise your understanding of yourself. Everything is spoken to you in symbolism. I've made it so easy for you all to learn symbolism. You'll learn every symbol possible. The pyramids in Egypt have these cylinders, but no one is speaking about Luxor Temple, located in Karnak, Egypt. It's built in the figure of the human body. It's not a temple for worship. It was a 3D mystery school, teaching the science of ascension of our consciousness. The entrance is the feet. The feet touch the material earth, which represents the lower mind, the low state of consciousness. Every one of these rooms contains symbolism, containing secret teachings in order to ascend, designed to gradually elevate the individual's mind from the lower to the higher, from matter to spirit. These symbols on the walls encoded secret spiritual wisdom. and you would have to go room by room to work your way up. Egyptians never worshipped any deity. They taught the secret teachings of occultism on how to expand the human awareness. Congratulations to everyone who used the code. Why is it the Egyptians are obsessed with snakes? They've hidden this knowledge from you. Snakes shed their skin to remove old layers. They represent transformation. Kundalini is symbolized with snakes because you're transforming sexual energy to the brain. That's why the medical symbol uses a snake, because they transform your health back to healthy. Every ancient culture and religion uses snakes. They represent the ancient religion of ascension, transforming from a physical being to a spiritual being, low frequency to high frequency. These foods keep you in low frequency, hence why they're all red, orange, and yellow for the lower 3 chakras. Snakes represent the ancient religion of mental or spiritual alchemy, turning lead into gold. Lead ruled by Saturn, physical matter. Gold ruled by the sun, enlightenment. Turning low-level desire and pleasure into wisdom, intuition, and expression, raising your thoughts and consciousness out of the lower half of the body to the head. They've hidden the ancient religion of the snake to make you worship a god outside of yourself. Now they give you Allah and Jesus, which are in essence demons in the astral planes. Read the caption to understand that. If you want to learn symbolism, the masterclass is now available. Did you know Playboy Carti practices magic? Many people have reported Carti staring into a flame for hours before he records. The reason he does this is to enter a trance-like state. By staring at the candle for long periods of time, you will escape the human mind of thought, allowing your consciousness to access the astral or the mental planes. The magician would do this with an intent to gain a certain information or certain thing from these higher planes. What this does is that it allows you to channel information into your conscious mind. Carti will more than likely do this to channel specific beats or ideas for music, because he understands that we are not just physical beings. If we can escape the human mind of thought, we can actually access higher realms and dimensions. Carti is also well known for doing energy work before his concerts. He will meditate in a black room claiming a certain energy for 30 minutes. And this is why everyone says he has so much aura. It's because when doing these meditations, you will invoke energy within your consciousness through emotion. He will do this to claim that energy. When he comes out onto the stage, he is then presenting that energy. Anyone can do these rituals and they will dramatically change your life. Did you know your city has its own spirit? Keep scrolling if you don't have an open mind. Every physical object has a spiritual light body. You have a physical body and you have a spiritual light body that you use to dream. This is what we call the astral plane. It's the dimension you use when you imagine something. The thoughts, the beliefs, the traumas of one specific city manifests itself as an energy inside the astral plane. The thoughts and the emotions of the collective consciousness in this city manifests as a spiritual entity in the astral plane. If you move to this city, that energy will be impressed onto you. This is why the people who move to Dubai become more wealthy, because everyone mentally knows Dubai for wealth and money, which means that is an energy being impressed upon that city. Think of a place that you visited. What does it make you feel like? That's the spirit of that place. Personally, I don't think cities are a natural thing and we shouldn't all be compressed into these places, because the collective consciousness holds a power over you. Code Spring30 ends soon.
That's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud.
Holy Spirit is not what you think. Spirit is a spiraling electromagnetic field around your body. This field can either be weak or strong. Your mental and emotional state defines your aura. Love, authenticity, and gratitude creates a strong aura, which gives you the Holy Spirit, or putting on the full armor of God in Ephesians. Because Ephesians tells you that the struggle is not against flesh and blood. Therefore, the armor of God is not a physical armor. It's a spiritual, energetic aura around your body. A strong electromagnetic aura will defend you from infections and negative energy. The heart is the inner intelligence that tells you what is good and evil. When you do something evil, you feel an inner conscience within your heart that you're doing something wrong. Every time you do something against the heart's laws, you are weakening this field, which then makes you more susceptible to disease and negative energy. In order for you to gain the Holy Spirit, you must have love, authenticity, gratitude, and happiness within your heart. And you must not break the rules inside of the heart. And this is how you put on the armor of God or gain the Holy Spirit. Freemasons use this symbol, which is the same symbol for Apple Store, and X when it's mirrored. This symbol is a compass on top and a square below. The square creates a square which has beginning and an end. The compass creates a circle which has no beginning and no end. If the compass is the circle, which means spirit, and square is the square, which is matter, this symbolizes spirit over matter, the compass over the square. Leonardo da Vinci was showing you that you are a spiritual being in a material body. You are an individual. You have a physical body and a non-physical body. The voice in your head and the emotions you feel are eternal, but your physical body will die. The spiritual brain is the mind. The spiritual heart is the soul. The brain and heart are physical manifestations of the mind and soul. The aim is to climb the pyramid to higher consciousness, to your true spirit self, so that you can be spirit over matter and not matter over spirit. They show you these symbols in plain sight. These people are highly enlightened individuals. You will never have power if you don't have knowledge. Knowledge is the true currency of this life. The moon is your mind. You can use the moon to your advantage. A full moon is very powerful. There are more police calls on a full moon than any other day of the month, the moon. The moon enhances our psyche, our internal state. If you are angry and a full moon comes around, this will be enhanced. And you will become a monster, a moon star, or a lunatic. Luna is the moon. On a full moon, you should be visualizing, thinking and feeling the desired reality you want, because your intent, thoughts and emotions are more powerful on a full moon. This is why if you type in witches, they're always next to a full moon, because this is the best time to cast a spell. 28-day cycle of the moon, 28-day cycle of the menstrual cycle. It's in direct correlation with the moon. The moon governs liquids in your body. Fasting on a full moon is also very powerful because the water in your body is being pulled by the moon. That's why the tides of the ocean follow the moon. 28-day cycle. This is a month, a month. 365 days divided by 28, which is 13. There are 13 monthly cycles. Where is the missing month? We do not know what year we are truly in, people. I think they did this to stop us being in sync with the monthly cycle. What do you guys think? The eye that you see on the pyramid is the third eye. The third eye is the human mind. Your mind can go in the past and the future, therefore it exists outside of this physical world, outside of time. The pineal gland is not the third eye, it's the radio receiver for your invisible intelligence, the mind. The more you dwell in your mind instead of the external world, the more you unlock. When you dream and leave this realm of thought, you are in a whole other realm. You can evolve physically and you can also evolve mentally, accessing other worlds and realms. There are 9 numbers because there are 9 dimensions. The word dimension has men in it, which means mind or mentality. This is where the word man comes from. It's Latin for mind, because man is not the physical body, it's the invisible mind. Cats can see into all 9 dimensions. This is why the Egyptians always symbolized them. Vatican symbols are key. The Vatican is a key because they give you religion to make you look outside of yourself, because they hide the key, and the key is within you to access the other worlds. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth was telling you this. The key to the worlds within thee are found only within. Entertainment. Entertain the mind. They want you looking outside of yourself constantly. This is why they have all of these platforms. Luke 17:12. The kingdom of God is within you. The comment that gets 0 likes will win a free book of wisdom. Parents are a pair who rents. Because you don't own your child. You sign them away using a signature. You signed your nature with a sigil. A sigil is a symbol used in witchcraft. You are born into this world, and the word born comes from barren, which means lifeless, dull and boring. Then you are controlled by the government, the governmentality. They control your mind. Everything physical began as a thought in the thinking mind. The mind is the root cause of reality, so they control your mind, not your body. They do this by broadcasting spells to north, east, west and south, the news. My God! Wow! Then they teach you the vowels in this specific order, A, E, I, O, U, to teach you that you owe them to become a slave. You are weak in the weekdays because you are working. Where you were a king, you are no longer a king if you are working. Then on the weekend, you are weakened from the weekdays. Days is a daze where you are in a state of confusion. The television is used to tell a vision, to program you on the programs. They want you to think slaughter is laughter, hello is hell is low. Words are swords because they mold your mind. They also create three-dimensional sound waves which impacts the fabric of matter. I believe that we were never meant to use words. Language has been manipulated so that we no longer use telepathy because we are all connected on the mental plane. We still have telepathic powers which we call intuition. They tell you aliens built the pyramids, but history tells you slaves did. The truth is neither. Alien is A-lie-N. They don't exist, they're a lie. We can't even replicate these structures today. That means the builders knew something that we don't. This physical world is the lowest dimension there is. Everything is a shadow of the higher plane of consciousness. Every object you seek first begun in the mental plane, the mind, as an idea. No, the mind is not your brain. It's a spiritual force behind all of creation. These pyramids, these cathedrals, they are physical manifestations of the ancient human mind, proof of a lost intelligence far beyond what we have today. They want you to think we were dumb back then. We were smarter. They hide the truth to keep you weak. The most important thing you can learn is that the universe is mental. The Symbolism Masterclass is now available. The fluids in your body are in a cycle, a rhythm with the moon, because the moon affects the liquids in your body. This is why women have a menstrual cycle, every month. So the full moon is a high energy. This is when the liquids in your body are being pulled the most by the celestial moon. Sun is masculine, the moon is feminine, emotion and intellect. So the emotion is being affected by the moon, which is our mood. So on a full moon, this is when the lunatics come out. When the moon enters the sign that you were born in, your sun sign, a sacred fluid is released from the brain down to the spine, and we must raise this up the 33 vertebrae of our spine to be crucified in the skull, Golgotha. The planets are not physical rocks, they are energies which influence the earth and our bodies, our consciousness. Astrology is so important, and this is why the ancients mapped the celestial constellations. This book has everything you need to know. The link is in my bio. The Book of Wisdom PDF or paperback. Jesus knew this knowledge, the knowledge of your electromagnetic field. Without it, you are lost. Your internal mental and emotional states manifest your external physical world. Your heart produces this field, and you feel your emotions in the heart. Your thoughts create your emotions create the electromagnetic field from the heart, the energy in motion. And your electromagnetic field creates your physical reality. This means your external world is a reflection and a physical manifestation of your internal mental and emotional state. This is why your life is hell. Because you've been taught that your emotions are something that should be reactive, when in fact you should be choosing the emotions you feel so that you manifest the emotion that you feel in your external world. Because by feeling that emotion, you become that vibration. Your vibe attracts your tribe. You attract whatever vibration that you are. By combining your electric thoughts and magnetic emotions to feel something before you have it, this is how you become that vibration. You create your own reality. The universe is mental. Everything exists within your mind. Stop worshipping Jesus and all of these religions and external gods because they do not exist. Everything exists within you. You are the universe. Literally playing a game. You can manifest anything you want in this world. You need this to learn how to manifest properly. Sexual energy, when saved, can be transmuted from the base of the spine to the pineal gland. They show you this truth in plain sight. Standing on the red carpet, which represents the base of the spine, the root chakra. She activates the kundalini, and this represents the spine. These two kundalini channels are connected to the pineal and pituitary gland in the brain. The kundalini then reaches the tree, which represents the brain, creating illumination. This process activates all the dormant brain cells in your brain and opens new neural pathways. Here's another one in the 2006 Olympic ceremony. Igniting the base of the spine, which is the sexual energy, and raising it up the spine to activate the flame, the brain. And this is the eternal flame, the consciousness in the brain. The Jordan River represents the spine and the brain. Santa going up and down the chimney. This is also mentioned in the Bible in John 3:14. Just as Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness, so the Son of Man must be lifted. This is the snake raising the sun, the fire, from the base of the spine to the brain. And this is the true Antichrist, keeping the knowledge of the Christ, the oil that must be raised, to the brain through the Kundalini awakening. Because they don't want us to unfold our God consciousness. We are all God in disguise. You're stuck within the cage, the rib cage. You're in a prison cell because you're made out of cells. You are hexed in physical matter. This is the X, the hex. The hexagram's a cube unfolded is the cross. You need to escape the physical world, the three-dimensional matrix, which is the world of Satan. Because Satan gives you the mark of the beast, the physical body, the 666 carbon suit, and then blinds your mind. Your mind is completely separate from the physical world. Through physical pleasures and lack of understanding of yourself, you think your mind is part of your physical body, when in reality they are two separate things. Your mind is completely separate from your physical body. The physical world is a dimension within your mind. Men means mind, mental. Mind in Latin means mens. In order to escape the three-dimensional physical world, you have to fully detach your mind from your body. Meditation is key in transcending the 3D world and traveling the depths of your mind. Mind and matter is one. They are different dimensions within your mind. When you dream, your mind creates matter. This is why mind and matter are one. The cube is the shape that gives rise to physical matter. The link is in my bio for the Book of Wisdom, paperback and PDF. Freemasons wear the M symbol, which is the same symbol for Gmail. The G is the Masonic G. The M is the mother. This is why they wear it in the genital area. The mother makes you into matter. Once you're made into matter, she delivers the male. Women hold a stargate within them. Everyone in this world has come through the mother into matter. This is why the female is so important. 0 and 1, the binary code of all creation. 0's the woman, the 1's the male. The male is the master over the physical world. This is why he is strong. The female is the master of the spiritual world. This is why she is very intuitive and sensitive to energy. The male is electric. This is a penetrating force. Female is magnetic. She attracts. Electric and magnetic, electromagnetism. If you understand electromagnetism, you understand everything. Everything is electromagnetic. It is the real atom. The 7 planets are gods. They are not spinning balls in space. They are lights within the firmament. The 7 planets give you the 7 days of the week, the 7 metals, the 7 chakras. Low vibrating light turns into matter, high vibrating matter turns into light. The 7 planets give their lights onto the earth and they create the 7 metals. This is why the 7 metals have the same symbols for the 7 planets. Sun gives you gold, the moon gives you silver, Saturn gives you lead. Elohim are the 7 planets. The Bible says, the Elohim, let us make humans in our image and after our likeness. The 7 energies give us 7 vices to operate in this soul system. Sun, the life giver. Mercury, the intellect. The moon, emotive. Saturn, structure and discipline. The 7 Jewish candlestick are the 7 planets. Revelation 1:20, the 7 stars are the 7 angels of the churches. Job 38:32, do you know the audience of the heavens? Can you establish their rule on the earth? The heavens rules over the earth. Judaism is the worship of Saturn. This is why they worship their god on Saturn Day. Christianity is a sun cult. This is why they worship their god on Sunday and has 12 disciples for the 12 Zodiac signs. This book's called the Book of Wisdom. The link is in the bio for the PDF or the paperback. There is worldwide shipping. Let's break down the $1 bill. The eye in the triangle. There are 4 planes of consciousness: mental, astral, etheric, and physical. The etheric is the barrier between the physical and the spirit realm, symbolized as the triangle. Eye symbolizes the invisible intelligence, the observing consciousness inside of the brain. Your invisible intelligence has the ability to see through the ether, the triangle, into the physical and the spirit realms. Jesus in French is I am. The letter I is the number 1, which is 1 line. Inside of you is your internal invisible self, your invisible intelligence where your insight is created. Our consciousness, our invisible intelligence is God. This is why the ancient Christians show God is in the middle of the brain. The body and the physical realm is split into duality, 1 and 2, but your invisible intelligence is the 1. This is why this symbol is on the $1 bill. The 1 is in between the 2. Your invisible intelligence, the I am, your consciousness, is in between the two hemispheres of the brain. This book is called The Book of Wisdom. There are paperbacks and PDFs available. The link is in my bio. There is worldwide shipping. The sun is electric, the moon is magnetic. The sun gives you energy, the moon takes your energy. Male and female. The moon governs liquids on the earth and in your body. This is why the tides on the ocean follow the moon. The menstrual cycle is the moonstral cycle. It takes 14 days for the moon to wax or wane to a full or new moon. It takes 14 days for the egg to become mature in the ovaries. Month is a month. The moon travels around the zodiac every 28 days. Body, mind and soul. The earth is your body, the moon is your mind, the sun is your soul. The moon is your mind. This is why we say lunatic, or in your mind you have a specific mood, which is moon. You can use the moon to your advantage. Start a new project or a new chapter in your life when there is a new moon, because then it'll be growing with you. We do not live on a spinning ball in space. Everything is divinely created. The yin and yang is the sun and the moon, the day and night, good and evil. We live in a dualistic realm, people. This book is going to give you the knowledge so that you can understand yourself and the realm you are in. The link is in the bio to get your hard copy, or you can get the PDF. There is worldwide. Race doesn't exist. Your brain is not your mind. Your brain is a central processing computer which connects the five senses. You do not see into reality. Light is sucked through the eyes and the image is produced at the back of the brain. You are the consciousness experiencing the program being ran by the central nervous system. Europeans or white people live in an environment where there is not much sun, so their hair droops downwards to cover their necks for warmth. Melanin is a product of the sun. Their hair grows outwards towards the sun. People's bodies are a product of the environment they live in. I am you and you are me. We are all part of an infinite consciousness expressed in different bodies. The Egyptians knew this. The Ankh is the symbol for life. This is the one giving the life to all the different life forms and bodies. Every single one of you refers to yourself as I. I is the number one, which is one line. We are all the one consciousness in different bodies. One is the only true number. Everything goes up in ones because we all come from the one. The 7 colors come from the one white light. Everything is one. You are the one observing your mind. This is your soul. Every single one of you is a soul. We are all the exact same infinite consciousness. Become a member of the Wisdom Academy. Use the code 4U for 26% off. This is why the word breath means spirit, because when we breathe deeply and do breath meditation, we strengthen our electromagnetic field, which is your spirit, your spiral. Breathing exercises sends oxygen, which is energy, to the brain and stimulates the pineal gland. You can quite literally trip off your breath because your lungs produce DMT, and when you breathe deeply, you can activate a mystical experience or an outer-body experience during meditation. So when you breathe deeply for long periods of time, you will feel yourself going lightheaded because you're activating your consciousness, you're awakening your pineal gland and your spirit. Whatever you do, stop breathing. There is a hidden meaning behind this symbolism that astronauts do. Warning, this information is not for everyone and your mind might just be altered after watching this. It symbolizes speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil. Your external world that you look into is actually truly internal. Light enters the eyes and it goes to the visual cortex at the back of the brain, and this is what produces the image that we see. Light is a form of wave. It is a light wave, and light waves carry information. This information is given to the visual cortex, and then the visual cortex creates the image. The information carried on the wave of light has an effect on your brain and then has an effect on the whole of your central nervous system and your cells. This is why you feel darkness within you when you see something very sensitive. Because what we see, hear and say has an effect on our whole central nervous system and our cells. So this is why you should never speak, see or hear no evil. There is a hidden meaning behind Easter. Warning, if you believe in Christianity, you might not believe it after this video. Easter is not the resurrection of Jesus, it's the resurrection of the sun turning into spring. The winter time is symbolized as death because everything dies in the winter. When the sun enters Aries, this is the lamb, which is the Lamb of God, Everything springs back to life and arises. Aries is an anagram for arise. The Jews call this the Passover because the sun has now passed the winter and entered Aries. This is why they sacrifice the lamb. Aries, the spring, is the true New Year's, and this is when Ramadan is celebrated. Ramadan, Ra, is the Egyptian sun god. As within, so without. What happens outside of you happens within you. You must raise the solar plexus energy to the brain. And this is when you arise to Aries. This then creates the resurrection of Christ, which is Christ consciousness, which is activating the pineal gland to create enlightenment. And this symbolizes your life going from the winter into the summertime. New light, new beginnings. You are born again. The Bible is filled with metaphorical and allegorical stories. And this is why we all need to. The Bible is filled with metaphorical and allegorical stories, and this is why we all need to read it right so that we can gain a deep. Freemasonic compass is a compass and a square. Compass for the circles, the square for the square. Circle is the eternal plane. This is the mind, the soul, the spirit, which is within us, where there is no time, no space, no matter. This is the no beginning, no end. The square has beginning and end. This is the physical plane. This is where material things manifest from the mind, the eternal plane. This is where time, space, and matter and limitations exist. The Leonardo da Vinci Vitruvian Man is showing you the man in the square with the eternal circle outside of the square. The circle, which is the mind, the eternal self, the consciousness, manifests the physical plane. It is circles over squares, which is why the compass is on top of the square. The G is 7, because the 7 planets or spheres of energy manifest this physical material world. This is the generative principle of the 7 planets, the 7 days of the week, the 7 metals, the 7 diatonic tones, 7 colors. The celestial bodies are spheres, and they rule over the earth, which is astrology. They give their energy to the earth, influencing the earth. The earth is the square. This is spheres over the square. We need to think outside of the box to reach our eternal self, which is mind. The mind is eternal, it is infinite, it has no limitations. Everything can exist in the mind. There is no limitation. This sign is not the devil horns. It's the moon crescent. Moon is mood, which is emotion. The moon crescent on top of the head symbolizes emotion ruling over our mind, our body, our life. Devil is red because the red is the lowest vibrational color. And this is you when you are operating your life in your animal nature. The devil is the ground animal, the lower self. The bird is the angel, which is the higher self. When we see the man standing on the moon, this represents conquering the emotion, and they no longer govern your life. Your emotions change all the time, and this is symbolized as the moon phases. Money rules your emotions, and this is why money has moon within it. A demon is actually your emotions. Lucifer fell from heaven to earth. Lucifer means star. The 5-pointed star is your 5 senses. When your 5 senses rule over your life, this is when you are becoming Lucifer, Satan, or the devil, which is the inverted pentagram. This is spirit on the top. The inverted one is spirit on the bottom, because your spirit is no longer controlling your body. It's being ruled by the lower mind, by the 5 senses and your emotions. God and the devil exist within yourself. It's a battle between your higher mind and lower mind, between the 5 senses and your mind, your consciousness. Religion has externalized the truth, so they keep you in your animal nature. Stop worshipping God, become the God self, because meat is poison. Fruits and vegetables assimilate with your body, meaning they become one with your cells. Illnesses show up in your field before it manifests in your body. Therefore, every illness is a frequency. And this is what quantum healing is. They scan your electromagnetic field and generate a frequency to heal it. Illnesses exist on a low vibration, so when we consume flesh, we are negatively impacting our spirit, our frequency, to match illnesses. When we raise our frequency through positive emotion, thoughts, and eating electrical food, which does not run off from you when you try to eat it, this raises your frequency, and then you no longer match the frequency of diseases. Meat might have some nutritious value to your physical body. However, it destroys your spirit. The negative energy the animal was feeling when it was being slaughtered is still within the meat. You have been programmed to consume adrenochrome, which is blood-consuming adrenaline, which is in the meat. It's a psychological warfare. They employ neutral terms to cover up the true meaning of the food, because the words become our reality, our perception. They called flesh meat. They called rotten milk cheese. If you want to upgrade your health, think positive, feel positive, charge your body on the earth every single day, listen to positive frequencies, cut out the demonic music, and eat vegetables and fruits raw. And this, you're cursing yourself if you do this. It's the Antichrist cross, which represents the brain and the heart and cutting the connection. The reason why this is bad is because the heart and the brain are directly connected. The cranial brain does the thinking, but every thought you think creates an emotion felt in the heart. In fact, the heart has its own neural network of 40,000 specialized cells, which are the same ones in your brain. So the heart is your second brain. However, the cranial brain has two hemispheres, therefore thinking with it can cause confusion and dualism. The heart has an intelligence of its own, just like the brain. However, it's a singular organ. It does not have two hemispheres. So when we say follow your heart, this is a deep meaning because the heart has an intelligence of its own which is guiding you. And this is why Jesus is always pointing at the heart. In Freemasonry, the heart is symbolized as the book because the heart intelligence is what you need to read to guide you through this life experience. The heart is what tells you what is right and what is wrong. And when you follow your heart long enough, it takes you to your life purpose. It's easy to listen to your heart intelligence. You have to turn off the thoughts, place your hand on your heart just like Jesus's, and this will tell you the right answer. They don't want us connected to our hearts because we are all an infinite consciousness expressed in different bodies, and love is the unifying force that will bring. Your phone is a digital footprint of your mind. iPhone, you refer to yourself as I, which is the eye of consciousness, is being manifested digitally into your phone. That's why Siri rearranged is Iris, and this is your iris. Every text you send, every call that you speak, and every search that you do is being stored and being fed into an artificial consciousness called AI. Everyone in the world has manifested their invisible minds into a carbon footprint, which is now created an artificial consciousness which is running off the algorithms that we have created. The more data we feed into these devices, the more advanced this artificial consciousness will come and rule humanity. The more data we feed into these devices, the more advanced this artificial consciousness will come and rule humanity. If something is free, you are the product. They all have two O's because they're watching you, they're collecting your data. Make sure to join my Telegram, link is in my bio. Your phone takes an infrared photo of you every 3 to 5 seconds. Your phone screens, TV screens, and computer screens all give off blue light, which creates permanent retina damage, which cannot be reversed. And this is why I use anti-blue light glasses whenever I use technology, to save my eyes and to save your brain, because whatever you see affects your whole body. The link's in my bio if you want to get these. They come in a nice little case. There is no external world. Your consciousness is experiencing a program being ran by the brain and central nervous system. When you touch something, this is your brain's interpretation of the central nervous system's electrical impulses. The vision that you see is produced in the visual cortex in your brain. It's because the universe is a mental projection. The mind is personified as the Garden of Eden in the Bible. And in the Garden of Eden, there are the two trees. The tree of life, which is the cardiovascular system, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the central nervous system. This gives your body the life. This gives you the knowledge of good and evil. The power symbol is the brain and spine because the brain is what runs this simulation to your consciousness. It's a central processing computer. This is why the ancients personified God inside of the brain, touching Adam. Adam means the body. God is your consciousness. This is why your head is called a temple. The temple. Tem is a place of worship. El is an ancient Canaanite name for God. This is why Jesus says the kingdom of God is within you. This is why the Bible teaches not to love this world, and this world is not the true world, because heaven is the true reality, which is the reality of your mind. That's the true realm. The word Lucifer also means the bright star. He fell from heaven. Now the star is your 5-pointed star, which represents you, your 5 senses. So when you let your 5 senses rule over your mind and your consciousness, this is when you fall from heaven. There is no external world. The Bible is written in metaphors and everything is internal. Everything exists within your mind. There is no true Females represent magnetism. This is why they are curvy and attractive. Males represent electricity, which is the action-taking force. This is because everything is created out of electromagnetism. This is the real atom. This field spirals while coming inwards and outwards. The out force is the male, which is the red, and the in force is the female. This creates red shift, the out force, the in force blue shift. This is why everything is red and blue. Roses are red, violets are blue. God, Allah, Elohim are all names for the Supreme Being. They all add up for 26. 26 is 8. 8 is the torus field. God is light. God is energy. Everything is God. We are all God. 0 and 1, the binary code of all creation. 0, the cosmic womb. 1 is the action-taking force. Male and female comes from the torus field. 0 and 1. The phi symbol is the torus field. Physical is the phi cycle, the cycle of the atom, which is a torus field. Day and night, we live in cycles. If you open your eyes, you will see magnetism in every aspect of creation. Everything physically is electric. Everything runs off electricity. Without electricity, your body couldn't move and the world wouldn't exist. Your brain is an electrical computer, and it is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Porn drains your sexual energy, which is your orange chakra, and this is why it's orange. Sexual energy takes over the mind and influences your body. This is why it's the most potent emotion the human can feel. It is symbolized as the serpent tempting you to eat the fruit, because it's tempting you to release your sacred fluids. Sexual transmutation is transmuting the sexual energy into other aspects of your life. It can either be kundalini, critical thinking, or even the gym. The spine has 2 coils wrapped around it, which is the energy channels for your kundalini to go up to the brain. The resurrection of Christ is nothing but a metaphor for rise erection, rising your erection sexual energy to the pineal gland to activate 100% of our brains, to activate Christ consciousness. This is known as being born again and seeing the kingdom of God in John 3:3 for the 33 vertebrae on your spine. Your sexual fluids have a strong energy behind them, and this energy can create a whole new human being. So imagine how powerful that is if you retained it. We become mentally, physically, and spiritually stronger by holding this fluid. This is why it's free, because it makes you weak. You are the product. Snakes and ladders is truth in plain sight. Your spine is the ladder and the kundalini is the snake. The snake in the tree of knowledge of good and evil is also the kundalini in the central nervous system, the spine up to the brain. The serpent is always tempting you to release your sexual energy, because sexual energy is the most powerful and potent emotion the human can feel. So when you overcome it, you are fighting the snake. And when you retain this energy, you can then resurrect, which means rise erection. Raising the erection to the brain to illuminate the pineal gland. Why do you think the word sex has the S in it, which is the serpent, the sexual essence? If you release your fluids all the time, you will become mineral deficient. Your sexual energy is the most powerful and potent energy within your body. It is your soul force. Even if you're not transmuting this energy into kundalini, you can transmute it into critical thinking or other aspects of your life. Watching them dirty websites and masturbating all the time will destroy your mental health, because in your mind you are literally that person in the corner of a room watching 2 people have pleasure. What you do in your alone time will manifest into light into other aspects of your life. This is why you will not be confident, you will not radiate, because you know what you are doing on a deep level on your own, and you know it's disgusting. Spirituality is a psyop, people. It's all about your mind. It's about transmuting all the negative aspects of your mind into positive. When you change your mind, you change your body, your life, and your spirit. Stop listening to music. It's bad because it reprograms your subconscious mind by putting you in a hypnotic state. You want to dance or do something when you listen to music because it puts you in hypnosis. You remember the lyrics so vividly because it rewrites your subconscious mind. Every word they are saying in the song is molding and shaping your mind in some form or way. Why do you think you want to hurt someone when you listen to drill music, or want to dance hard when you listen to techno? When you listen to music, you literally cannot think because it's putting you in hypnosis. Spotify and Apple Music are all tuned to 440 Hz, which shuts down the right hemisphere of your brain because they do not want you thinking creatively or intuitionally. Music creates thought loops within your mind. This is why you feel nostalgia when you listen to an old song you used to listen when you were a child. The repetitive music and beats creates thought loops in your mind. In nature, nothing is repeating. Everything is constantly transforming. It's the same with your mind. Your mind should be constantly transforming to bigger and better things. Listen to music in 432 Hz or 528 Hz and make sure it has no demonic lyrics and no repetitive. Heaven and hell are states of consciousness. 144,000 faithful Christians will go to heaven. This is nothing but a frequency to go from the root chakra to the crown. When you achieve this frequency, you gain the armor of God, which is the strong electromagnetic field to protect you. Raising the frequency of this field is what allows you to pass the veils from the physical into the higher realms of consciousness. Devil is de-veil, because doing evil, doing the devil, lowers your states of consciousness. The resurrection of Christ is nothing but a metaphor for rising the erection, rising your sexual energy up to the head. The devil is red because it represents the lowest frequency, which is the root chakra. Keeping your emotions in balance and your thoughts and actions aligned with the divine mind, the higher self, this is how you reach the highest states. By doing this, you gain the Holy Spirit, your spiraling electromagnetic field. Even the food that we are consuming is keeping our bodies, minds, and spirits stuck in the lower states of consciousness, third dimensional awareness. To reach these higher states, you have to go from acid to alkaline, Saturn to the sun, Satan to Christ. You have to consume the food that contains the high amounts of electricity and energy. This book provides you with all of the syncretisms between science and religion and everything you need to know in one book. My new favorite thing to do is to show you how powerful you are. We are intelligently designed. The eyes contain 137 million cells within 1 square inch in the retina. To put this into perspective, this is 1 million dots and this is 1 square inch. And this is your retina. Your retina consists of 137 million cells. They say this is because of evolution, which is just another theory created by Charles Darwin, a Freemason. Everything physical you see comes from the invisible. Everything you see in the physical plane was manifested by the mind. The phone that you are holding was an idea in someone's mind before they manifested it physically. So therefore, the whole physical world that you see exists within the mind of God. Essentially, we are all existing in the mind of God, and we are all God fractured into separate bodies. This is why Michelangelo painted God within the brain, because the pineal gland is the connection to the mind, which is the divine or God. And one more thing before you go. If you don't believe in God, then you are delusional, because this painting was painted by a painter. Therefore, this physical world was manifested from the mind of God, and we are a microcosm of that mind, and we can use our minds to create things within God's creation. We are made in His image. We are a fracture. If you believe in evolution and know God, debate me. The number one mistake that you make is that you think they wear jewelry just because they are rich. Firstly, the crowns are made out of gold and other gemstones like crystals, which all contribute to amplifying the frequency of your energetic field. Usually they wear purple to symbolize royalty. They wear this on the head because the head is connected to your crown chakra, your highest state of consciousness, which is purple. A lot of ancient cultures used to be decked out in jewelry. They used to hold canes with metal on the bottom and the top because the earth produces magnetic energy, and by grounding, you are actually amplifying your field. When the body is producing a high frequency because of the amplified field, they would be able to sync up with a higher consciousness. This is why you should fill your spaces with precious metals and crystals, because the atoms that create these metals and gemstones are resonating on a high frequency. I have a few of these orgonite technology necklaces left. If you want one, the link is in the bio. Stop eating when the sun is setting. When you chew until it becomes a liquid. Your digestive system can't digest chunks of food. The sun powers your digestive system and your body. When the sun is not present and you eat something, this is going to cause problems within your digestive system. Stop mixing foods. Mixing animal flesh with potato and bread will cause the food to solidify within your stomach, leading to constipation and the birth of parasites within your body. Acne is undigested food coming through your skin. The digestive system cannot digest all of the toxins, so it has to find a way out, and it comes through the skin. Your cells are electric. Your brain is electric. Your central nervous system is electric. And you are electromagnetic. The body runs off electricity. It is an electrical machine. Therefore, your body and your cells needs to be charged by electric food, which is grown under the electric sun. Sun's rays crystallize within the food that is grown underneath the sun. This is why you can see the glowing aura of an apple compared to a slice of flesh. This is dead. You do not want dead things within your body. It will not charge you. Your teeth are not made to rip open flesh. Veganism rearranged is saving me. And your intestines are not like a lion's or a dog's. All the legends in the past knew this, and this is why they were all vegan. You descended from spirit to matter. Now you need to climb the stairway to heaven, which is your spine, and go from matter to spirit. The chakras are not what you think. They are 7 vortexes which our consciousness feeds energy into our physical body. You have a mental, astral, etheric, and physical body. They exist within the etheric plane, which binds your spirit to your physical form. Hence why in the Bible they are known as the 7 seals. It states the Lamb is worthy of opening the 7th seal, because the Lamb is Aries, and Aries rules the head region to open the 7th seal, the 7th chakra. They're called the 7 seals because they seal your invisible consciousness. Heaven is even. This is why Jesus is pointed at the heart chakra, which is the balance point. When your vortexes are balanced, you have a deeper connection with your universal intelligence. Your higher self will have an easier job manifesting itself throughout the body. The world is stuck in the lower 3 energy centers, lust, food, and power. Instead, we want to aim to use the higher parts of the body, expression, intuition, and wisdom.